Okay, heartily hello. I think we met just before. I will try to be short. I shorten my presentation. It will be about a new job description for teachers in the school model of dual or cooperative education. In our last project of dynamics, together with the Hochschule Wismar and some Romanian and Bulgarian partners, we also have been talking about the role of a teacher, of a professor. And so here are some ideas about this. We know the traditional pictures of it, and I think we have to rethink what we are expecting from a teacher, from a professor at a university. So, what does industry expect from our students and from our university? More application orientation, integrated practice, more methodological competences, social competences, studying abroad. These are the main things beside the indispensable competencies of a bachelor graduates, ability to work in a team, independent working, self-management, capability of analysis and decisions, operational readiness, communication skills, responsibility, a broad knowledge, of course, in the technical subjects as far as the technical study program, learning competence, toughness, this is a very strong point. They have to sustain real life, interdisciplinary knowledge, and the willingness to succeed. This is what they also expect. Moreover, the indispensable competencies in the bachelor graduates are computing. It is expected everybody knows how to use Windows, Excel, and probably even SAP. Vocational experiences, how should they get them in just only theoretical study program? So we need this dual thing. Foreign languages, persuasion and presentation skills, we have to teach this to them. Entrepreneurship, ability to give and receive criticism, which is not to be taken for granted for our students nowadays. Conflict management, flexibility, leadership, creativity, work experiences, intercultural competences, decisiveness, R&D competences, and time abroad is not that necessary, but we see where the main wishes of industry are. Our great philosophers, quite some years ago, talked about self-determination, maturity. Alexander von Humboldt stated to transform as much work as possible into one's own person. This needs experience, this needs to go out to the world or to real life. And Humboldt also said the university education should not be an occupation oriented, but an education independent of economic interests. So we have to think, what is the goal of our education? We have to rethink about it, only to give them specific knowledge or to make them to a personality, our leaders, our later leaders in industry. So also Kant talked about maturity. It says you can speak and care for yourself. And just have a look, this is more than 200 years ago. And yeah. I have to be fast in 10 minutes, so I have to jump over this. I just shortened my presentation. The aims of education did not really change the last 300 years. Our pupils and students need maturity, resolution, courage, self-determination, self-responsibility. It is the same what we have seen before that industry expects from our students. And how should they get it? How should they receive and learn about this if they have never been in real life? Only at university, we did not teach this to our students, never. So the question is, do we need a new role model? do we have to think over the teachers, over the professors' role in real life. And we also discussed in our project a lot of this. And the teachers also have to go out to industry. They do not have to stay in their ivory tower. They need also to get in touch with real life. This is a central demand. He's very curious. What does it mean to change this role model? And so we just talked about it, and we would be able to explain to him. Because nowadays a professor, he has to satisfy, of course, his university, his dean, his rector, and so on. He has a responsibility to the students and to the industry. This is often forgotten. And at the end, sometimes there are also some parents. You will laugh and smile, but in our application procedure, sometimes parents come with the students for the application procedure. And we think, hey, what will be in later life with them? Also, the parents will take them by the hand. No, this cannot be. We started with Wismar with Eudure. We went then on with dynamics, and what we see is these two gear wheels. These two gear wheels, they have to work with each other, tooth in tooth, and both drive each other. Industry drives university, and also industry should be able to drive or to give energy to support industry. So it is in both directions, with the theory given by university and the practical training by companies. My personal summary, I don't know how much minutes you left me. 3, okay. My personal summary for the picture of a professor, how a professor nowadays has to work, and what he benefits from a dual education is to stay in touch with real life. I'm not in the ivory tower. I go to industry and talk with them. It increases also my expertise of knowledge, because I know what in real life is going to happen, not only in R&D, in my little office. It develops me in my role to a science manager. This is a change in my role. I become more and more a consultant. Of course, I have to have the specific knowledge. Nevertheless, my role changes to be a coach for my students. And I think for me, a dual education offers the chance to teach motivated pupils or students, however you call it. We had these two programs here in Romania and Bulgaria, and in these two programs we also discussed this role. And always, if there are human beings, some accept it, some deny it. It's a question of personality, how you deal with this new role model. For my students, I only can say we can open the door, but at the end, they have to go through the door on themselves. I just can support them and open them the door. And so, thank you for listening. I hope I fulfilled the 10 minutes. Feel welcome and free if you have questions.
Any questions?
Maybe one, the picture of the clubs, the theory and the experience. I understand how the theory has an impact on the practical training. Do you have examples of how practical training can affect the theory?
In both directions we have this. I have a lot of students who are well experienced in a specific topic. And it's more and more often, if I have students coming from the secondary way of education who had an apprenticeship and then they sit in my class, often I am not able to tell them about specific things because they experience it for 4 years in their enterprises, and I'm very happy if I can include them in my lessons so that they tell about their experiences, which may be different from my experience. And by this also my Glaubwürdigkeit, liability is rising, because the students hear it from their colleagues and not only from the storyteller behind the desk. So this is one direction, from practical to theory, and the other way is our curriculum. That we want to have this working together, this fitting together of our theoretical inputs to our students, and they have to apply it in real life. So you have it in both directions. If somebody really is interested in it, I know a lot about conferences, you can have my presentation, and in this presentation you have 3 times more slides, also about Kant and Humboldt and their goals and their aims, what our great philosophers in Europe have been thinking about maturity. You can have it if you want it. Thank you.